Yep. What? Let's get back to the overseas. Then we're gonna go back into some of the etc. stuff. What did you enjoy most, and what did you dislike most about playing overseas? Like, what some things that you didn't like? What was some things that you liked? Was it some food? Was it people? Was it the language? Was it travel?
Man, honestly, I love the. I'll start with what I like first. I love the competition of it, man. Obviously, just you're hooping, right?
Yeah, a lot of people say that, or a lot of my fault for cutting you off, but a few people say that they think overseas is more competitive than college ball.
Yeah, depending on where you go and stuff like that, because you got to think about, like you playing against grown men, um, and those guys they work too, man.
Mhm.
Like they've been working like they got basketball academies that you don't do normal school. You just go to basketball school.
Mhm.
And you just do your grades, but you go to basketball school for 8 hours a day. You start that in the third grade. You think you ain't gonna be nice by by 21?
You have no choice.
You ain't got a choice. And that's what you facing up with. Some of those guys. I played some young guys that were good. I remember is Josh Obeezy, man. He had a tryout with the Hornets not too long ago. Plays first division Germany right now. He's a monster. Right. He was good, but I would say like the competition, like going and playing against people, like I loved like being on the road, like and playing, and like the fans are talking crazy, and you can just silence them on the road with just a jump shot, and just look at them. You find somebody to look at. Like, I love that. Like that's like the competition aspect of it that I love.
So you're a trash talker?
Huh?
You're a trash talker?
Yeah, man. I am.
That's one of my questions. I was gonna ask you, are you a trash talker? And if so, what's the best like trash talking moment you've had? But you can answer that after you answer what I already asked you. I won't let you forget.
All right, man.
All right.
Oh, brother. Nah, but that's what I love the most. Just that competition, man, and also like the camaraderie. Like some of my best friends are from Germany, or from Europe. Like I still talk to those guys like in my WhatsApp group chat, and guys hit me up all the time. Like even some of the kids that I would train and stuff like that, we talk all the time. So like the relationships that I've been able to build with people over there over a span of almost a decade it's amazing, because those are some of my my better friends. What I didn't like, and I always found a way to get over it, was like sometimes you just miss a lot of family stuff. Like, to be honest, when you're gone so much. Yeah. I found peace with it, but as you get older and as some of your priorities shift, you kind of like you can't look over it as easy as what you did when I was, let's say, your guys' age, right?
21. You know how I feel. Yeah. Getting away from home, family, a lot of stuff happening.
So and that's through good things, and obviously it's not always good. So sometimes bad things happen and you aren't there, and you're 5,000 miles away. It's not like you're a 3-hour ride, a car ride up the Beltway. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's a difficult thing. And yes, like for Germany, for instance, like in the area that I was, it was more country based. So like, say for instance, like the stores closed at 8:00 at night. I hated that. And everything was closed on Sundays because that was their day of their day of rest. So just imagine, like, if I got practice and I'm doing my trainings and stuff like that, I got a full week, and the stores close at 8. That means I got to go before that and get all that stuff. I need to cook. You know what I mean? Because I can't just go to a fast food place or a restaurant after I get out of practice at 9:30, 9:45 at night and go grab something. I need to cook.
Yeah.
Never got used to that. I hated that.
Yeah.
8 p.m. That's crazy.
That's nasty. We had dinner at 5 o'clock, so that's even that's weird too.
Yeah. Now that's out. Because that's like college. You know what I mean? Like the dorm, like cafeteria is cool. Shout out to the cafeterias at every school. I love cafeterias, but and it's nice, but it's conversation.
Shout out the cafeterias.
Yeah. See, Mason, hold on, Cam. Mason, do you like cafeteria food? Don't let.
It depends.
No. Tell him about the Fuma cat.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so like,
Ask him
nah,
about
okay,
fried chicken Fridays at Howard.
Okay.
Ask him about the Fuma
okay,
cafeteria.
like I go to Howard, so the cafeteria food is it's not bad because it's like it's black stuff for the most part. Sometimes it's trash, but for the most part it's alright. But like when we was in Fuma, it was like, bro, it was no point in even getting up out your bed to go. Like at that, like you already knew, like you just walked in and you would just the smell would hit you and you was like, yeah, it's one of them days. Like it's just turn around. You know what I mean? Like you still sat down because you gotta eat something. Like it's either that or noodles. But it was like, bro, it was no, yeah, bro. Yeah,
I
that
mean,
shit was trash.
every school like that I went to, like the cafeteria was like, it was low key good. Like you would have some stuff like, all right, man, like what is this? But for the most part, I remember the first school I went to in Indiana, they had like a hibachi grill. Like every day you can get some, like just fresh like hibachi stuff. Like that was cool. Things obviously it was bland. You better bring you some Lowry's. But
Oh yeah, that too, yo. It was no It was the food was unseasoned, and then they didn't even provide seasoning. Like, yo, like they just had salt and pepper, and then after that, good luck.
Nah.
yeah,
Didn't you walk around with salt and pepper bread to go to
No.
the cafeteria?
Bro, no, I used to put the A1 sauce on everything, the barbecue sauce on everything. Yeah, bro.
But somebody asked, how does he keep confident when his coaches try to downplay his game?
that's a great question. You know, I think this might not be like a sexy answer, but I think it's a truthful answer. Like it comes from the work that you put in. Like reps remove doubt.
That's facts.
The more reps that you do of something, it's gonna naturally take away the doubt that you have. You know, if you go in there and you shoot, we'll just use. I don't want to use a number that feels overwhelming. Just say you make 250 shots a day, right? By the game comes in 3 weeks or whatever, that's the tournament that you're practicing for. You should have a lot of confidence that hey, even if I miss my first 5, like I done made over 1,000 shots in the last week or two. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what my teammates say or anything. That's one thing that I really respected about Kobe. Like, a lot of people called him selfish, but do you know how much courage and confidence you have to shoot 25 shots in an NBA game?
Right.
With people telling you to, like, stop shooting, man. Like, you bought. Nah, bro, like, I work on that.
Right.
I work on it. Like, Carmelo. Like, one time there was a story, I'll use this because you like Melo. Like, there's a story.
Yeah.
Was like,
he said
you heard about it?
Yeah, he didn't pass the ball, and he said, I work on that shot. Like, that's the shot I make.
Oh, I think I seen that. Somebody said in an interview or something like that.
Yeah.
He was like, I was open. He was like, I was open. And then Melo was like, I work on this. Yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah.
So, like, you know, I have a, like, that's, you know, and I took that line from Chris Paul, man, reps removed doubt. I heard him say it the other day, and I really the other month, and I really tried to embody that mantra, man, with the kids that I train. Now it's like, you know, reps remove doubt, man. So, like, just stay confident. You have to have that unbreakable faith in your skills that, like, my work is going to pay off, and I'm confident in what I'm doing. But don't get it twisted, man. Like, it's hard to do that, though, because it's easy in the middle of July, but when you get in there, you got, like, you know, girlfriend watching, all like that, like mom, dad, 1,000 people in there, and your coach is yelling at you. Like, it's easy to get into that. And it took me a while to get to there, and I didn't honestly get there until I was overseas, because I had no choice. Because over there, at one of the few Americans on the team, you have a responsibility to that team to be that guy, right? And if you aren't that guy, then they'll give you a piece of paper the next day and send you home. And that's what people don't realize. Like, it's cutthroat.
So is that what they look for they expect the Americans to be the top dogs?
You have to, because why else would they bring you?
Yeah, they could get somebody else that's there already.
Go get 5 points a game, Cam.
Yeah.
So you average. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to get that done. Like, in my mindset, I was blessed because I met a gentleman that I used to, he was my OG at LA Fitness, and he gave me a story because it took me 2 years to turn pro from college to over there. I would just email. That's the span where I spent that 2,500 emails in that 2 year span of trying to get over. And he told me, he was like, so I'm going to tell you this. I played in the Philippines, and I tried to bring my buddy over. I'm a guard, obviously, but he's a big. And I'm talking like I'm him. He was like, so like, I'm trying to bring my big over. And the first game, he had 8 and 5. Somebody might say like, oh man, that's solid. First game, 8 and 5. I told him, I was like, Sean, like you got to pick it up, man. He was like, man, I'll get there. Like, it's my first game, 8 and 5. Next game, he had 11 and 7. I was like, hey man, like you need to pick it up. Like I'm telling you, like you need to be at like 18 to 20, 18 and 10, like minimum. That third day when that brother walked into the gym, Sean told my boy Kev, he was like, hey man, who's that guy down there? Kev said, man, I told you, that's your replacement down there. They want you, and they actually wanted me to tell you to go talk to management. They sent him home after 3 days. Damn. 3. You know what I'm saying? So like when I heard that story scared me to blankety blank, man. So for me, it's like, sometimes, some of my teammates, they didn't love me, but it was different for me because I didn't have that luxury of having a game and just losing 2, 3, and 4 or 5 games. I didn't have that luxury because they would send me home. I didn't have the luxury to go back-to-back games of 2 for 12. I couldn't do that. So, like, to me, you have to have that confidence, but you also have to get along with people. Because, I was the leader, I was the captain and all like that, but, like, ain't nobody gonna lead you if you're a prick. Or ain't nobody gonna follow you if you're a prick.
True.
So you have to get along with people. Like, I have to, and it's not using people, but getting along with people so, like, they want to go and set those screens for you. They want to get a rebound and pass it to you and go sit in the corner and let you go to work. And all that stuff takes time. Like, you just don't get to go over there and just shoot 30 shots and be a a-hole to people.
Right.
Yeah, man. So you lasting over there 9 years is very impressive. Because for it to be that cutthroat, it sounds like it's hard to stay over there for 3 days, let alone 9 years.
11 to 5 getting you cut, you got to average 25.
Yeah. Like, depending on where you go and what they're expecting of you, but, like, for the most part, man, like, you're expected to go out there and, I don't want to put a number on it because guys always ask, well, how much do I have to average? It's different. Sometimes it's different, like, but I know that 8 points ain't going to get you to stay. It's just not.
Yeah.
It's not, unless you're playing on a Euro Cup team that you got 5 other Americans and everyone's expected to just get, like 10 or 12. Cool. But if it's 2 of you, y'all Negroes better, excuse me, y'all better go.
And be Wade.
Y'all better go and get to work.
Yeah.
So we got a question from the comments. It says, have you ever had a moment in life where you went into a cloud of thoughts and you soaked everything in on like how you got to where you're at today? Like, have you just had a moment where you really like soaked in everything that you've accomplished and where you're at today?
Yeah, I would say, yeah, man. That's a shout out to that person that asked that question, man. That's a good question.
His name is Kari. He plays basketball right now. He's a college hooper.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Kari.
That's a great question, and I think we all should do that, to be honest. And to answer that question, yeah, I have, because I think, like, my dad always says, like, you got to find the joy in the journey. So at each spot, it's like, there's some type of joy in it. Like, even where you guys are at now, like being in college and doing this podcast, you're going to look back on this and like, man, this was a moment in time. And I really hope y'all both embrace it, because this is what you guys are doing, what you're about to embrace on is going to be amazing. So for me, it's like, like when I was over there, I'll never forget, like, when I first got that call, because after we were backpacking through Germany, the first time we went back to Serbia to wait to see, like, we planted seeds and we wanted to see what would happen. I got that call from the coach and in the management team, they said, like, hey, we want to offer you, a 1-year contract. You can come in here, show us what you can do, and it's up to you. I'll never forget that. Man, I cried so hard because I was so happy, because it was like something I really tried to do, like, just like, it was my big dream, my goal. So being able to do that, like, that was really cool. Helping the club move up a level to a different division in my second year, that was real cool, because they had never been that high before. So that was a cool thing.
You gotta win a certain amount of games or something?
Yeah, you have to win a certain amount of games and finish in the top 2, and they moved 2 teams. So we did that. Being named like they towards the end of my career, they started like doing all-star games, and I was able to do that. I got shows for that. I should have won an MVP at the all-star game. That's a different story. Politics as usual.
Damn, all-star snub. Got all-star game snub. That's crazy.
It was a fan. They let the vote too, and the fan they cheered for me the longest, but they gave it to the hometown kid. Like that's not hometown, but he was like 45 minutes away. So it's just like it was whatever, man.
I got a story like that too. It ain't as big. Of course, it's not an overseas MVP, but it's a little recreational MVP. I won that year. We had our championship for the All-Star game. So I won Finals MVP. Dominated about 20 and 20, something like that.
Yeah.
Got Finals MVP. Hoisted up the trophy. Carried my team to the dub. Then we get to the All-Star game. I'm of course selected to the All-Star game, like first or second pick. I don't know. There was some other dude in there. And they gave him league MVP. They lost. Why are you getting league MVP for? I got Finals MVP, and I'm better. But it's all good, man. I got the big trophy at the end, but
yeah, man.
Yeah, man. All right, we gonna.
I got a good one. How do you feel about as a basketball fan? How do you feel about the cause we haven't really talked about the NBA. Like, how do you feel about the NBA off-season move so far? Like, how do you feel about how like the Suns looking, the Warriors adding CP3? Like, how you feeling about some of these moves and what are your predictions, I guess, for the upcoming season?
Man, honestly, man, I'm excited. Like, and I feel I found saying this like the last 4 or 5 years. Like, man, I feel like this is about to be the best NBA season ever with all the moves that have happened. Like, I was talking to it with one of my friends the other day. Like, we'll start with the Warriors. Like, I just don't know. Like, it just don't feel right. They're talking like CP's gonna come off the bench.
I don't see it. I don't see the fit.
I don't see that. Like, that just doesn't sit well with my core. To be honest with you, like, if I'm Steve, I'd rather shoot.
Appreciate the follow.
My fault. Go ahead.
I'd just rather start Draymond at the 5 and let Looney come off the bench and just start small and just like let other teams adjust to me. To be honest, but it's an interesting dynamic. The Suns like getting. They recently came out and they said that Bill's gonna play the point. I think that's interesting. I feel like him and Booker, like, they ain't the same, but they're a carbon copy cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
Just traded away campaign. In my opinion, I feel like that would have been my starting point guard and just let Book and let KD. Like, KD's positionless anyways, man. Like, he don't need a position, bro. You could say he's the 4, but have Book and Bill play the 2, the 3. Have Aiden at the 5 and be done with it.
Yeah, I wanted to ask how you felt about the Suns, because me and Isaac,
I just want to know what they're going to do about defense. Like,
yeah, like, we going back and forth because he keeps talking about they got enough bench. I don't think they got enough bench.
I think they have a decent 8 to 9 man rotation.
The reason why they lost in the playoffs last year is because they traded away everybody for KD, and then all of their little pieces on defense, rebounding, all of that is gone. So now you got this big name who can only score, and you have none of the small pieces. They did nothing to fix that this year. They made it worse, actually, by giving away more pieces and then getting Bradley Beal. So how are they expected to win if they didn't even improve on the stuff that they lost on last year?
I don't necessarily. And sometimes it takes a different type of mindset, man, to see it, but I just don't see it, to be honest with you.
I think they're a second round exit again.
Yeah, man, I don't see it, man, respectfully. And I love KD. That's one of my favorite players. And Book, his skill set is amazing. Bill's skill set is amazing too. But they brought in Bobo. Right? They brought in Bobo. And like to me, like
Bobo.
Yeah. So like if you to me
they got one guy.
Bro, like, come on, man. Like, he's cool, but like that ain't gonna be like. You need people like Bruce Browns of the world. Like Denver screwed up by letting Bruce Brown go. Like to me, like if we haven't learned anything in the last 4 or 5 years, names aren't gonna get you a chip. A team is gonna get you a chip. KCP's still there. Yeah, you know they came back. They signed DeAndre Jordan back. They signed Reggie Jackson back. They got a young kid named Peyton Watson that you guys should look out for. Went to UCLA.
Yeah, I seen him talking about him a bit. I know he's on the bench.
That's why the Nuggets won, because they got a team, not huge names. They have a team.
Christian Braun. Braun.
Real quick. This is for some young kids out there. Peyton Watson was at UCLA, did not get a lot of playing time. But that man attacked practice every day like a dog and was drafted in the NBA. You can go look it up. He didn't play a whole lot at UCLA. Did not get a lot of burn at all. Got drafted through practice. Think about that. Got drafted through practice. He's an NBA champion now, a year later as a rookie. And of course, he didn't play a lot with Denver, but that's not the point. If drafting is what somebody's goal is, like, hey man, just take every opportunity. I know Cam, even at your school, what was it, Independent, right? Independent.
Yeah.
You can still go somewhere from practice, correct?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Isaac was gonna go somewhere anyway, but but that's my point. But some people, they can go somewhere from practice.
Yeah.
He's so hyped.
What did I do?
You're so hyped, bro.
What did I do?
Bro, go ahead, bro.
Shout out to Colin. That thing on your thing, Mason.
I'm sorry,
Colin Sexton. He's a Colin Sexton fan. He said, "Shout out Colin Sexton."
Oh yeah, I'm a Colin Sexton fan, man. I was a huge fan when he was at Alabama.
Yeah. I seen him in Vegas, man.
Yeah,
did you see him when he played in the summer league?
Nah, But I just in a hotel. I was out and I had seen him walking around or whatnot, and I was like, "Young bull." I was like, "Man, I appreciate your intensity," because I did that little thing where he put his hands out, and did a little.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I seen the picture with CP3.
Yeah, man. He's cool. He's cool people.
Is you taller than him or he's taller than you?
Nah, he's taller than me by like a little bit.
Barely.
So I legit like 6 foot, like right there, 6 foot.
Okay.
I have a personal question.
Yep.
One of my somebody I watched. I was gonna laugh when I asked this. Somebody I watched from high school into college. He just transferred to Memphis from Alabama. Javon Quinterly. I know he's Jelly fan, blah blah blah, all that. I think he could be an NBA point guard. I watched him at Alabama. I watched him. He can score. He can score anyway. I think he has great court vision, and he plays decent enough on defense. I think he could be could be a superstar, but he could be an NBA guard. I don't know if you are familiar. I don't know if you watch, but like, how do you feel about him if you watched?
Bro, honestly, we gonna have to circle back to him next time we do this because I haven't watched him, to be honest. Yeah. So I gotta go look at the clips.
Good man. A lot of people will sit up here and blurt out stuff.
Lie. They're just saying live. You're like, oh yeah,
just get up here and lie. Just get up
For
here
sure.
and cap. Just say they know about something they don't. I like that.
I'm telling man, you pop a lot of shit, man, you know what I'm saying? Kick a lot of shit, man, kick a lot of drip, man, you know what I'm saying? No cap. Can't let these fuck nigga murder me. I live in Porsche's emergency.